All right, I want to bring in Michael Geoghegan now. He is a political analyst joining me from Victoria, BC. Michael, quite the turn of events just this past hour. What are your thoughts? John McCallum is now out of a job. Are you surprised by this move by the Prime Minister?
Yes, he made the fatal mistake of being a little too forthright as a diplomat. And of course, he had many years of experience on the Hill as a cabinet minister in various Liberal governments. So then when he spoke his mind, he wasn't being diplomatic because, of course, what Canada is hiding behind is essentially, hey, we're not involved politically in anything to do with this. This is just a legal process. Now, of course, the fact that the United States is extraditing the executive, there are certainly major political overtones there, and the way China has chosen to respond, including grabbing two Canadians, including a former diplomat, and putting them in jail. That's obviously exceedingly political and thuggish, and so Canada's caught in the middle. So the last thing Canada needed was for a diplomat to suggest that we were somehow engaging on this at a political level rather than a more hands-off, hey, we're just going to let the legal process play out. So that's why he got asked to resign. Just playing devil's advocate here, did the Prime Minister have any other alternative but to let McCallum go? I don't think he did, simply because it was a statement that had the effect of confirming China's suspicions that this is all a political game, right? And the United States is using Canada as a proxy, and that's at the same time, you had the opposition leader Scheer calling for his resignation. He was in an untenable position. Right. He had to call for his resignation. Do you think it does satisfy those in opposition? As you mentioned, Andrew Scheer calling for McCallum's resignation, just a few days ago. Does this move sort of satisfy that and sort of put the Prime Minister in sort of a more authoritative spot because he's being criticized for being too soft on all of this? Well, yeah, I mean, certainly one would hope that whoever they pick as the next ambassador is able to be a little more elbows out. And certainly other countries like Japan have admonished Canada and said, look, it's time for you to focus on countries other than China in terms of Asia, obviously Japan first and foremost. Right. So they're certainly hoping that there'll be a bit of a tougher response. But I mean, the tough situation that Canada is in is we're caught up in this action between, two global superpowers, a United States that hasn't been that friendly to us lately, and a China that, as it grows in economic and military power, is flexing its muscles, and sometimes in a not very sophisticated manner. Where does this, Michael, put things for Canada in terms of those three Canadians who are currently detained? One, as we know, has been given the death sentence, but Michael Spavor, Michael Kovrig, we know Robert Schellenberg. Where does this put Canada now in this situation? Because, I mean, as we've been saying, Canada's been the middle person in all of this, but feeling the brunt of being that middleman. Well, Canada's in a situation it really hasn't been in ever, and that is we're becoming somewhat isolated on the world stage. I mean, most of our history, we were either a colony or a close relationship with Britain, and then we transitioned to being a buddy and having a close relationship with the United States. And now the United States is doing a lot of things to alienate traditional allies, including Canada, and at the same time, China is from their perspective, they're going back to the way things normally have been, which is they are the dominant global superpower. They consider the last 500 or 600 years an aberration, right, and now they're finally getting their act together. So it's a very challenging time for Canada. We're going to have to learn to stand on our own 2 feet more than ever before. And challenging as we are months away from an election in October. All right, Michael Geoghegan speaking to me from Victoria, BC. Michael, really appreciate your insights on all of this. Thank you. Thank you.